Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are actually going to be revisiting Tommy VEXT, the Lone Wolf, Strong for Someone Else. So this just recently came out the other day, as of recording. This came out 3 days ago. But yeah, I'm excited because a lot of you guys have been mentioning that this is a softer song, and probably, yeah, man, definitely Tommy's softer side is like what I have something by heart for, like Sober. He actually wrote Lifeline originally, which is one of my favorite New Bad Wolves songs. Even like talking about New Bad Wolves, Wildfire was probably my favorite song on the record. I don't know, I'm kind of like a chick that way, but I think Tommy just has such a remarkably incredible voice. And I just love, I love it when he croons, you know? But anyway, so before we get into this one, if you guys have any song requests for me and you want to vote on what artists come on the channel every single week, join everybody in the Discord, link down below. And if you want guaranteed song requests and you want to check out all of our full album reactions like we've done on Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, Evanescence's Fallen, and a whole bunch of other ones, join everybody in the Patreon. Also link down below. And that's it. So let's go to Tommy VEXT, Strong for Someone Else. In June of 2012, after testifying against his twin brother for his attempted murder, Tommy VEXT fell into a dark suicidal depression. He ascended the steps of the Metro subway station with the intention of jumping in front of an oncoming train. As a subway car approached, his cell phone began to ring. He answered the unknown number to an unfamiliar voice. Is this the conversation that happened? The young man said, "Is this Tommy? I need help." The train pulled into the station and Tommy went, "Oh, hold on, man." And Tommy went to meet that young man who was battling his own addiction. Almost 10 years later, he returned to the same platform with a camera crew to film this video, to send a message of hope to all those struggling with mental illness, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Wow.
Feels like I'm standing on the edge of the platform now. Maybe somehow I'll fall. Walking for miles inside, I know it's true. And this song has holes like you. And I watch the train get closer into the station.
Wow.
And I backed up just to get a running start. It sent me on a permanent vacation, a new destination. Sometimes the only I'm down and out, maybe just...
Oh, sorry for pausing. I do want to catch up some of my thoughts. Man, this is amazing. Like, I'm like in and out of tears a bit right now, but yeah, man, Tommy's like, this is why Tommy's like one of my favorite vocalists. Fuck, man. Like, on one level, his voice is just so incredible. The depth, the richness, the tone, the melodies he chooses. That, like, you know, you guys know I'm huge on melodies, right? I love a good hook. And one thing is Tommy always knows how to just bring a triple A hook. But the thing is, like, that wouldn't mean anything if he didn't have the depth of character and the emotion in his voice and in the meaning behind his lyrics to make everything land. And This is fucking good so far. Let's go back 15 seconds, get back into this.
For someone else. Hey, mister, tell me, can you hear me? 'Cause I'm down and out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe just lost and found. And it's crazy what I'm saying, but I'm praying and I don't know you. But maybe you could just hear me out. And I watch the train get closer into the station. And I walked up to the doors and watched them part. And I met this man without a hesitation, a new destination. Sometimes the only way to save me is by making space for someone else. When I feel the world surround me, can I be the strength for someone else? Someone Sometimes the only way to save me is by holding space for someone else.
For every suicide, there are many more people who attempt suicide. A prior suicide attempt is the single most important risk factor for suicide in the general population. Sometimes a simple act of a phone call can save a life. If you or someone you know is having thoughts and feelings about suicide, please call 8. I was once told that if you kill yourself now, you'd be killing the wrong person because you would steal from yourself the person you're going to become when you get through the hardest times of your life. So today I'll be strong for someone else. Shit, man. Yeah, that one hit hard. Especially because a lot of you guys know kind of where I've been emotionally last like month. Like, it's been rough, man. It's been fucking rough. Yeah, there's literally, man, like, it's funny that this song came on today because just the other day I did a podcast, with a guy by the name of Michael Santanato, and we've known each other for a bit. He was a mentor of mine back a few years ago. He helped me a lot in my life, and so he came on the podcast, and we actually talked about suicide. Like, yeah, because you know I had a suicidal time in my life, and even recently, like I opened up to him on the podcast. I said, yeah, man, like there's been times where like even the last year, like just fleeting moments. You know what I mean? Like it's like I know I won't go through it. But it's like, man, sometimes when it just feels overwhelming, like when shit just gets overwhelming and really dark, yeah, I don't really feel like there's anyone to turn to, even though there are, you know, even though in my life especially, there's so many people I could turn to, but you know, to anyone who's kind of dealt with like mental health issues or anything, it's like, you just don't even want to talk about it, you know what I mean? It's like you just don't even want to start. Like, first of all, you don't want to be a burden to people. you don't want to admit to yourself you're broken or that you're just having a hard time. You're so used to being strong for somebody else. Like that's a big thing with me is I'm the guy who has my shit together. It's kind of like, you know, it's not what people think of me as, but probably in the back of people's minds, like, well, yeah, you know, I always talk about my life, and I talk about a lot of stuff in these videos and on my podcast, and you know, I get very real and stuff. And I think some people might, yeah, be like, oh yeah, like he's figured it all out. And you know, I figured a lot of stuff out, but there's still times, man, where when shit gets like really, really intense, fuck, man, I'm just like, man, I'd rather just not be here right now. You know what I mean? And I've gotten, in some sense, like I even have, like it's funny, it's funny that Tommy VEXT also calls himself a lone wolf, because that's what I always tell people. I'm like, I have a lone wolf mentality. Like, I know there's people I can reach out to, but in the moment, it's not even a reality that there's people. You know what I mean? Again, it's anyone who can relate to that. It's like when you are going through the dark nights of the soul, you know, when there's just a million things going wrong, where like there's just a few things and they feel like the world, like just it won't get better, and there's just so much pressure, so much stress. You're just like, fuck, man, just stop. You know what I mean? You're just like, just stop for a moment. I just need to catch my breath. You know, yeah, I feel like I need to stop drowning. Just get, like, you know, sometimes you just want like, yeah, watch a movie or something. You just want to be able to escape for just a couple hours, you know. So that's why some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, gambling, sex. Like, you know, we all have our vice, right? It's like we all turn to something when things get too tough, and I'm still learning how to ask for help, man. It's even funny because on the Discord, all of you guys are always like, oh, you know, I'm here if you need me. And that's what's funny. It's like, I know that and I don't. You know what I mean? Because, you know, anybody can say they're there for you. And it's only, yeah, it's like, you just don't know. You know what I mean? Plus, like, if you've ever been like let down before, if anybody's ever like not been there when you thought they would, which has happened to me. It's just tough to trust sometimes, you know. It's just tough to trust that people will come through, you know. And then sometimes you just don't want to burden people, you know. You don't want, yeah. Probably in some sense you don't want to give somebody a reason to leave, because you've been left before. And so if you're just always good, you don't give people a reason to leave. And the problem with always being good or feeling like you always need to be good is you're always kind of secretly afraid of like testing that relationship in a real way. You're kind of afraid of like ever actually needing help, like in a real big way. You know what I mean? You know, you can ask small things for help. Hey man, can I borrow your whatever? Can you pick me up? But it's like when you really kind of give somebody your life in a moment, in some sense, you know, because let's say somebody's thinking of ending their own life, like you're kind of putting all of your faith into another human being, just to at least take some of the pain away for just a brief moment. And yeah, you also don't want people to judge you. You don't want people, you know, we all love our pride. We all love our egos. We all love being perceived as the person who has everything together. So it's like if you really open up about things you're dealing with, or you'd be like, hey man, like I'm in a really rough place right now, there can be a fear that like when you do get through it, people won't look at you the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now you used to be somebody people looked up to because, you know, you'd figured it out, which is bullshit anyway. No one's figured it out. But yeah, it's just all these fears of the unknown, you know? Like no one knows what any of this is going to lead to. It's just we don't even try to reach out and to figure that out, you know? So it's interesting. But anyway, man, masterpiece of a song. This one hit differently. Yeah. Yeah, this one this one helped me get very vulnerable. And that's how I know how real a song is like how comfortable am I to get into my really deep shit. Because if a song only goes this deep, it means that in relation I can only go that deep. If a song goes that deep, I feel like that person's like, I feel like in this sense Tommy's my friend. And I'm like, hey man, like you opened up to me, you went here, I'm like okay, like I'll open up to you, like, you know, I can go there too now. Where yeah, that's the whole thing with like holding space for people is like, in some sense, yeah, like you have to be able to empathize in a real way. You know, people can just feel it if you can empathize with them. You know, it's just a feeling. But yeah, brilliant song. What do you think of this one? Let me know down below. And lastly, I just want to give a quick shout out to my tier 3 patrons. So we got, of course, Laura, Adam, Amber, Kelly, Brianna, Daphne, David, Francis, Gage, Melissa, Russ, and Sharon. So shout out to all of you guys. I'll see everybody again tomorrow. I love you.